Hi everyone, welcome or welcome back to my channel, Chronicles of Cask. I'm Cass, and today we're going to be doing another TBR Spin the Wheel challenge. But first, here's a few updates. So I know I told you the rule that I was going to put myself on a book buying ban while I fulfilled this challenge, and needless to say, I will not be doing that anymore. Only because it's 2025. Last year in 2024, I put myself on a book buying ban for the whole year up until my birthday. And I just don't want to put myself through that again. If I want a book, I'm going to buy it. It's a coping mechanism, it's also self care. So I will not be doing that. The other part of the update is that this might be the last month that I do four total spins. So that's three regular TBR spins plus the fourth wild card spin, only because I'm going to be starting school again and my time is going to be filled with graduate work. So the stacks that we're going to be worried about is this stack and this stack plus the Audrey and Bash Are Just Friends book. And these are all the books that, again, I got in the book festivals that I attended this year, which was the Black Romance Book Festival and the Indie Love Book Fest. The TBR wheel chose Finding My Way Out of Darkness by Briyanna Michelle, Rhythms Blues by Kimberly Brown, All I've Wanted, All I've Needed by A.E. Valdez, and When He's Not There by Z. Renee. And I will tell you that those were great reads. And I also picked up a few other additional reads throughout the month. So if you want to know my thoughts on all of those books, let me know in the comments and I'll do a reading wrap up of last month's reads. So for our first spin, we have for the first spin, we have Finding My Way to You, which is the sequel to Finding My Way Out of Darkness. Okay, our second spin is Broken Clocks by Danielle Allen. Okay. The Cast by Danielle Allen. So it's probably going to be a Danielle Allen reading month. That's so cool. We're going to spin for our wild card prompt. And we have cover love. So that means that I can choose the book cover that speaks to me, that I'm really loving. And I'm sort of excited for that pick. The TBR wheel has chosen, and these are the picks for the month of August. With the first spin, we got Finding My Way to You, a redemption love story by Briyanna Michelle. And the synopsis says, I won't let anything happen to you. I promise you that. And this is one promise I won't ever break. FBI agent Kendrick Thompson has always prided himself on protecting his loved ones. Once blood is spilled and bodies drop, Kendrick is reminded that the hell that followed him through his childhood clings to him like a second skin. He isn't ready for the love of his life to be affected by the demons of his past. Will he be able to rise above the ashes to save Phoenix, or will everything he has worked so hard for blow up in his face? Follow their journey through broken promises, deadly betrayal, and redeeming love. I'm so excited to get into this sequel. A part of this challenge is that when I read, if it's a series, when I read the first book, after I complete that book, I can add the sequel and whatever other books that I have in my collection into the challenge. I love the last book's main characters, Brian and Michaela, and just seeing how Michaela grew throughout that story. I'm so excited to see what Phoenix has in store because she's her one of her best friends, and Kendrick is one of Brian's close like friends or relatives. For the second book, I have Broken Clocks by Danielle Allen. I'm so excited to get into her backlist, and it says, according to my grandma, in any given situation, there are only two opportunities for perfect timing. I fell for William Grayson in a matter of minutes. The connection between us was undeniable, but our timing was off. I was dating someone, and by the time I was single again, he was taken. And a year later, when we finally got together, it was clear that we were soulmates, but circumstances out of our control cut our time short. We were a little older, a little wiser when our paths crossed again. I was entering a new phase of independence in both my career and my life. He was growing professionally and moving to a new city. And even though our timing was off, it was still clear that we were soulmates. But for the second time, circumstances out of our control cut our time short. My grandma was a wise woman, but the love of my life taught me that there's no such thing as a perfect timing. There's just timing, because nothing is perfect. There's just right now, because tomorrow isn't promised. For as long as we'd known each other, William and I just wanted to be together. It was as simple and as complicated as that. Okay, now I did see that they said that this might break me. It might be an emotional read. So I'm a little intrigued to see what Danielle Allen wrote in this one. Now, we also have another Danielle Allen pick. It's The Cask and inspired by Edgar Allan Poe's The Cask of, I'm not going to say that word because I can't pronounce it. Synopsis says, I endured the thousand injuries of Omari Fortune as best as I could, but when he ventured upon insult, I vowed revenge. The good looking businessman knew exactly what he did, and if he thought those broad shoulders and sexy lips were going to smooth things over, he was mistaken. If he thought flirting was going to change things, he was incorrect. If he thought asking me on a date was going to make things right, he was dead wrong. But his advances gave me an idea. They say keep your friends close and your enemies closer. And when you want revenge, it's best that your enemy doesn't know he's your enemy. But how close is too close? Okay. I think this is going to be interesting because this sounds like something totally different that I've never read from her. And she's honestly, at this point, an autobiography author for me. Now, for our last category, which was the wild card spin, it was Cover Love. And I've been wanting to get my hands on this book ever since it made it into my collection. And when I got this at the Black Romance Book Festival, I was drawn to it because the butterflies, and it's just so pretty. So let's get into the synopsis. Her life may feel shattered, but in the pieces, he sees something beautiful. Janae Warner had it all: platinum records, sold out arenas, and a life in the spotlight. But the same fire that fueled her rise burnt everything down. Branded as unstable and unredeemable, she disappeared from the world she once ruled. Now, after years away, Janae is stepping back into the industry she left behind, determined to reclaim her voice and prove she's more than the headlines. Returning to Houston, the city that built her and broke her, Janae faces more than the pressure of a comeback. The emotional storm she's battled for years still churn within, and while her drive to succeed is unwavering, the world is watching, waiting to see if she will rise or fall harder than before. Landon Hayes, a quiet, brilliant guitarist, moves through life with a rhythm and focus that sets him apart. His calm, structured world feels like a contradiction to Janae's relentless highs and lows, yet their connection feels unexpectedly natural, a steady presence that both unsettles and intrigues her in ways she's never imagined. As their bond deepens, Landon's unwavering presence forces Janae to confront the vulnerability she's worked so hard to bury. Trusting someone who sees through the walls she's built may be her greatest risk, but it could also be her path to a second chance she thought she'd never deserve. This seems like it's going to be emotional, it's going to be romantic, and it's going to break my heart, but it might put me back together. I'm so intrigued on this stack of books. I don't know what to expect out of these. We have some new picks from authors that I've already read. We have a new author and a new world to enter. So, thanks for tuning in, and I hope to see you soon in another video at Chronicles of Cask. Bye.